Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Loud, Confused, and Ready. We are your hosts, Sam,
Cam,
Kip,
Elliot.
We're going to go into virtual reality.
Excellent.
This one, I think, is safe to say, Kip, want to send us off into virtual reality? You're going to buy one, right?
So I don't know anything about virtual reality.
Elliot? Elliot?
Elliot's all right. No, so yes, I was initially, I had very seriously considered doing it. I watched a lot of gameplay videos. I kind of have been following them since they came out. I tried an Oculus when we were in Arizona, and that was it was short, but it was cool. I just like the idea of it. I've seen a lot of the games that are out right now for some of them are cross-platform, some of them are just for Oculus, some of them are just for the Vive, and they all look really fun. Like it's looks like a whole different experience. I've seen videos where there's an app for it, or game, or whatever you want to call it, called Virtual Desktop, where you hook it up to your computer, and then your desktop is like, you pick your background. It can be like, you could be sitting in a field, or you could be, like in just a black space with stars in the background or whatever, and then your desktop is just floating in front of you, and you just look around and click on it like it's your computer screen and stuff. So I'm thinking like somebody that if I'm at home, like either playing a game or working on something like, audio editing or whatever, then I can have it be in a cool space where I'm instead of just staring at a screen in my boring ass
Right,
apartment.
and your eyes pop out of your head. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, what is the place? I think you mentioned Arizona. What is the place in Arizona? They have like a warehouse that's built up where you walk around, and it's just all blocks and stuff in real life. But you put on the headset and the chest and everything else, and you walk around, and it's all. Do you know what that is?
That is a place. I don't know that it's. I don't know where it is.
Sounds like a very intense, immersive experience.
It's from what I understand,
like
it's still under development right now. They're still working out many of the kinks, and they plan on coming out in the next couple of years or whatnot. But they have 4 games that they kind of did a beta run to do a lot of promotion and stuff on it. And like one was the Amazon or the like Minor Aztec kind of ruin type of deal. And you walk around, they have like water fountains, shit's crumbling around you. The floor in front of you opens up, things of that nature. And I think what they wound up doing was like, it's all safe, obviously,
right.
But like you walk into this square area, specifically for like where the floor opens up, and the floor just kind of lowers just slightly, so that when you walk up to it, you feel the ledge, but you're not gonna kill yourself,
Gotcha.
So
if you actually fall, it's just a quarter of an inch. And
then in another game, there's a lot of elevation. I think you're like in an air kind of city type deal. So there's like a lot of elevator type situation. So you stand and it raises you ever so slightly. But because you raise a little bit and you see and you experience in your senses that everything's going up, and then they have like heaters and AC units. So like I think in the mine one, if you walked over to the slit in the wall where in the virtual reality it was a fire, you put your hand in there and there's like a heater, like a kind of space heater situation. So when you put it in, it gets real hot, and then you come back out.
That's cool.
And they have scents, smells, things of that nature, right? So when you're walking in a certain place, like they'll shoot, like a lot of 4D movie theaters have, but they'll shoot a smell at you, and you be like,
neat. I wouldn't call that one awesome, but I'll call it neat.
Yeah.
Shoot some stank on you.
Shoot some stank. Yeah, and that that all of that kind of stuff aside, just the concept of having it like in your living room, like that. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the stuff about it, but it's very common for if people are moving, like if you're not moving in real life and you are moving in virtual reality space, it gives you pretty severe motion sickness, like pretty much across the board.
Yep.
So a lot of what they've sort of done to circumvent that was teleportation within these games. So like, for example, there's a game where you're like infiltrating this building, and you point your hand at where you want to go, and it'll drop a little ball, and then it'll show you a view, like you can look at it under your hand of where you're going to come out. and then you teleport there, and then you're there, and it pretty much eliminates all motion
cool.
sickness. But then, like, I was watching, they'll gather up like knives, okay, and then they'll pop up their hand, and then they can pop up the knives, grab them, and throw them at enemies. They basically they see you, and then they start shooting at you, and you try to kill them with the knives first. And these guys were like teleporting all over the place, and like they teleport up on a rafter and throw one down at a guy and then teleport away, and like you could look through, you could go back and forth and like look through windows to see them and like throw stuff around corners. Like with the Vive, especially because it's got the sensors up in the corner of the rooms, you can really it can really triangulate exactly where you are. And there was another one I saw where they have guns, and it's sort of like a rail shooter. You're both in this sort of center elevator area that goes down to different levels. Okay. And each one, there's like robots that come in, and you have to shoot them, but you can pull out different weapons. This guy had a bow that would shoot an arrow and then explode. They had pistol, but they'd throw the pistol up in the air and catch it in their other hand and then turn and shoot guys. And like one guy pulled out a sword and started killing people. This is the kind of shit I'm watching. I'm like I can have this in my house. I want that really bad.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like they were throwing guns to each other, and like one guy would call it out, and he'd like reach over his shoulder and shoot a guy behind him while the other guy was watching. And so it was like a 2-player rail shooter, and they were just going down levels. And
I think personally, I'm kind of sick of doing that in real life. I'd probably want to do it in virtual reality. Just
exactly.
Kind of like even everything out,
Right.
Yeah. I'm sick of doing real life rail shooters.
Yeah.
So, but that's the kind of stuff that like I watch and I'm like, fuck, that looks so awesome. But they're pretty expensive right now. So I'm not quite ready to do it yet. I'm gonna wait until there's some more games and I see some more gameplay from regular people. But
regular.
Yeah,
I kind of want
not people that were paid to stand in a room that's perfectly set up for it and do it. Like
and
people
do
that
cool
set it up
shit
in their
shooting
house.
over the bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They also have VR like mini golf, which I thought was really cool. Like it's just you just teleport to where your ball is and then you hit it. But like it's not like regular mini golf. Like you can like hit the shit out of it and will go flying like across this giant gap to another, like you're just floating in the air on a course or so they have all these opportunities to kind of take normal shit and make it really cool in that virtual space. And that's what interested me about it, was just kind of like it's a new way for gaming to go, and I think they're finally figuring it out.
Have you seen Keep Calm and Nobody Explodes?
Yes,
which is I want to play that game.
That would be a really fun game.
Incredibly bad.
So for those that don't know, Keep Calm or Everybody Explodes is a game where one person puts on the VR headset and they have a bomb in front of them. And it's got several segments on it, and you have to like disarm each segment with different codes, or like you have to cut certain wires. But you only have the bomb if you're in the VR space. Anybody else who's outside the VR space, they have the instruction manual to disarming the bomb.
The 50-page instruction manual, engineering manual on how to understand what's happening with the bomb.
Yeah, so like there might be one, and they'll be like, if it has 5 wires, refer to page 6. If it has 6 wires, refer to page 7 or whatever. So they'll be like, how many wires are there? And they're like, 5. And it's like, is one of them blue? No.
Okay, how many are white? Okay.
And then they're like,
okay, hit the third one from the bottom.
Yeah, you have to cut the yellow one and then flip it over and press this 3-button code or whatever.
So it's like awesome. That Space Team.
Yes,
yeah.
it's a lot like
Space very similar to Space Team.
We need to play some Space
Team. Dude, Space Team, we need to get some gameplay on that.
That would be fun. That game is awesome.
Because that's something that everyone freaks out at.
Just a quick round of Space Team.
Yeah, I played that with Emily a couple times, and we both had our iPads up. We were just like,
we were playing it with 4 of us here before, and it was just actually we tried 6.
Chaos. It was chaos.
Because you can do up to 8, I think, and it was just
chaos.
Yeah, it was chaos.
It was chaos.
It's chows.
That's funny.
Chows. It was just some cute little animals from Chows.
I love chows.
Chows are great.
Yeah. So anyway, that, and I'll show you guys that video. We can actually probably put a link to it because it's specifically this shooter. There's a part like before you go down into the first level, you just get familiar with the controls. But another side effect is that you can fight the other person with the guns and swords. So like there was a whole portion of the video, like a 15-minute portion of the video where they were just dueling each other with swords. They'd have 2 swords and they were both fighting each other and like throwing them at each other and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I would murder all of you. And
I would expect you to.
We would. I mean, we could all murder each other because they were just going like this.
Well, and in the
like
game,
you with a sword, like
You keep using that word and referring to us when you do it, but I'm not quite sure you know exactly what it means.
You keep on using that word. I do not think it means
it's
what
where
you think
you
it
wrap
means.
your arms around someone and embrace them, right? Is that?
I'm gonna murder you with love.
So I've been excited for VR ever since Oculus was announced and whatnot.
Yep.
But as you have said, it's very expensive, so it's hard to expect to get into the game anytime soon. However, the VR, the headset that I got to try wasn't really a headset. It was the Samsung, basically headset that you slot your phone into and allows you to just use it as and that was surprisingly effective.
Really?
It worked really well. It felt good. It tracked my head very, very well. The screen on the Galaxy phones is fantastic. So you're getting a great resolution picture. I mean, it's 3 inches from your eyes. So
Samsung,
you're
please endorse this.
Well, and it's exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Samsung. No, but we have when you separate your 2 eyes like that, it's so easy to. I mean, not like surgically.
I think it's the hand motion.
When you Uma Thurman all over the place.
Exactly. When you're all gooped.
Yeah, you missed that.
When you're all,
that was a fun car ride home.
So we
were gonna ditch you, but
that's right, you were.
Sam's like, I feel like you rode with us. What? No. So anyway, when you have that sort of depth perception ability, it really opens that up a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've never experienced that with a phone, but like I say, we tried that Oculus. It was like a science exhibit at some museum in Arizona, and I mean, it was like there was one where you were in a temple and there was like stuff crumbling around you, and then like the floor would crumble underneath you, and you like fell down this elevator. And I was like, oh, like it's it's really hard to describe unless you've actually
because the Samsung one worked well. I assume the Oculus and whatnot would work better, but it worked very well. It had me, It was very, very immersive. There was a section that was a Cirque du Soleil performance. An onstage Cirque du Soleil performance where you were literally at the front, sitting on the front of the stage, and the actors were like coming right up in front of you and almost touching. Like, I mean, you could turn around and see the people sitting out in the audience.
I wonder how much of
cool.
that. I wonder when I see that stuff, how much of that they're going to do with like actual film. As far as like like he said, like actual actors like in a VR space. Like I think that would be cool to experience through an Oculus. Like, like a live concert or like a
or basically a movie where you are a person, with the main character.
Hardcore Henry style.
Hardcore Henry
oh my
style.
God,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be really cool.
So you said you were excited for virtual reality when Oculus was announced. I've been excited for virtual reality since I watched Lawnmower Man.
Actually, I mean, if we're being honest, I've been into virtual reality since my stepbrother and I did virtual reality in the Mall of America about 12 to 15 years ago. And it was one of those like circle things that went around you to sense your stuff. And then the headset that came down and had like huge apparatus going and was like all connected. So you really couldn't move. You could turn, but you couldn't like go forward or anything.
You can't move forward on those. Like, don't they have a track or something that moves?
Now they do, but this was 15 years ago.
Before they
that's
just
the kind of
had,
shit
like,
I want to
barrier.
have because I can't put up like a whole setup in my apartment.
Right, but it was even back then. It was mind blowing because we were playing a Star Wars game actually, and he was Luke, I was Vader, and you could either have a blaster or a lightsaber. And it was straight up like he was trying the blaster on me, and I was blocking shots with my lightsaber, and it was so satisfying. It was really fun.
I've never been to Mall of America, but I think it's because I have standards. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty sure it's because
I mean, I've been there 3 times.
My bar's set at the Lakeview Square Mall.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that.
I'm not going to go into anything I consider lesser quality.
I would highly suggest going to the Mall of America.
We have plans to go. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I went when I was young and when I was older, and it was amazing both times because it's just there's so Legoland is the coolest place ever.
Dude, there's a Legoland in Detroit now. Why haven't we gone?
I don't
We'll
know.
go there.
What the fuck?
Let's go there.
I want to go right now.
I mean, what are you guys doing right now?
Oh,
I know it's
fuck it,
Mother's
let's
Day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have things to do that require being over the age of 3.
Well, Legos requires being over the age of 3, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think 3 is the minimum.
I think
yeah.
3
No,
plus.
it's a
Three
listen.
to-
This
no,
is
it's
this
3
is
to
no
99.
Duplo. It's not Duplo land.
It's true. It is
okay?
$3.99. If you're 100, you're not allowed to play with Legos anymore.
That
AKA
age is
the
just a
stupidest
suggestion.
shit ever.
It's just a suggestion.
You could be 2.5.
Let's be honest. If you're 100 years old plus, you probably shouldn't play with Legos. Like,
What else is there to do?
So anyway.
Don't eat it.
Grandma, no. Grandma,
this
no.
weird
No, I probably
diagonal
will.
piece? In my day, all we
this
had was
cheese?
straight pieces.
They were
and
red
quarter
or
pieces
blue
with
blocks.
3.
That's all we had.
And you were one or the other. You don't get to. You don't get to play with both blocks.
Did anybody read about the Oculus like pre-orders or anything like that? No, nothing.
No.
No. What happened with that?
I mean, I'm sure I heard about it. I'm not sure.
No.
Basically, what happened is people pre-ordered their Oculus. Oculus tried to push ahead of the Vive's release, so they basically released early and were like, okay, we're gonna start shipping out your shit, and like nobody was getting them.
Oh.
So like some people got them, whatever. So that's been going on for
Those people won't count.
That's been going on for months now.
Okay.
So once those things happen, like then they announced something that was like, hey, if you wanna, we're gonna start stocking limited stock at like Best Buy and stuff like that. And all the people there's still a
hadn't
significant
gotten
amount
their
of people that
pre-orders.
pre-ordered that still have not received theirs in the mail, and they're sending them to like Best Buys and stuff like that to stock on the shelves.
Oh.
And the response and I don't know who exactly it was, so I can't quote him directly.
Probably Dave.
But it was probably Dave.
yeah.
So they were talking to Dave, and they said like, "Hey Dave, why the fuck?" And he basically was like, "Well, we figured a lot of customers probably were going to be mad about this, so we were figuring probably people were going to cancel their pre-orders and just buy them in the store."
That is the
that's-
worst. Wow.
That's what you're banking on? You're like, oh, they'll just cancel and be pissed. They'll be fine.
No,
And they're
he's-
still
he
gonna try and support
He
us.
released this as a public statement
Yeah.
saying that we're expecting people to cancel their pre-orders and buy them in the store because they'll get them faster.
that.
Yeah, fuck your
This
pre-order.
is like the
Go
representative
fight
for
the
Oculus.
rabble.
So Oculus got bought by Facebook. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that
Yep.
explains it.
I mean,
Honestly,
Yeah.
does
But
that not?
I think
That sounds
that's-
like a bullshitty Facebook
Yes.
move. 100%.
And I think the reason that
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the only reason this happened is because they went, oh my god, the HTC Vive is coming out. We got to release ahead of
Yep.
them.
Yeah,
And
we gotta beat 'em.
So they stuffed their release date way before they were ready, and they didn't have any units ready to push.
It was do
Well,
it.
that's
and
only
ask for
half of it.
forgiveness
The other
later.
half is then going, well, screw those pre-orders. We'll just stock some stores
Yeah.
and have them go get their
Well,
pre-orders.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they already have the money from the people.
I mean,
that pre-ordered.
the better way would have been to work with the places they were sending those to, and go, hey, here's a list of the pre-orders we expect you to give
In your
stock
area.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
in your area. And then say to those pre-orders, say, hey, you can go to the store to pick up your pre-order.
Yep.
Like that, sure, they might be
That
annoyed that,
would've
it's
made-
not
or
getting
Or
totally
delivered.
makes sense.
go in with a receipt of your pre-order and get
Right.
a
Yeah,
discount.
it was the
Exactly.
confirmation number that you would have got via email by pre-order.
As long as there was
Hey.
one set aside for them, people would not
Yeah,
have had an
exactly.
issue.
Everyone
But the
would
fact
shut
that
up.
they would probably be like, oh, sweet, I can go down to Best Buy and pick up my Oculus.
Exactly.
Instead of like, or you can wait until we manufacture one and ship
or
it
I
to
can
you.
cancel my
That's-
pre-order and hope they still have some over
Yes.
there.
But like if they have to
I think
pick it
they're
up from the
The
expecting-
store.
fact they can sell out, they could
If
sell
they-
out before the pre-orders could get them. That's the problem to me.
Yeah, if they have to pick it up from the store, you're talking about minor inconvenience where everyone goes, now I have to try the Best Buy, which is like 20 minutes away from whatever at most. And then whereas this way they're saying cancel your stuff and then gamble, and they're like, well, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
It doesn't make any sense. That is
It doesn't make any sense to me either, unless you're looking at it from a business perspective,
Yes.
from a business that is not being run very well.
and doesn't care about the customers.
If you were looking at it from a very just purely amateur perspective, then absolutely. Like if you give a 13-year-old a multi-billion-dollar company, sure,
Right.
I got it.
Well, that's just them going, we have all this pre-order money and we're not bringing in any more money because it's not available retail. So are we going to spend all these months manufacturing all these and then start going to retail and not be making any money in between? Or do we want to totally fuck over the people that pre-ordered, release a bunch for retail, get all that retail money, and then continue to ship out stuff as we can make it available?
But none of that really, because they were already making the money they were already making the product for retail. Okay, so none of that actually matters because they already had the X amount for retail. Like he was saying, take a portion of that and give it to the people who actually already bought it in that area.
You don't release it for retail before the people that pre-order it. That's the whole point of pre-ordering is you get it first.
I got it. I
mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they thought, well, we can either do that or we can just say fuck it and just release them for retail so we can make that retail.
Well, no, okay. So I don't think anyone's really talking too much on that, on the fact that they pulled a douche move, because that was going to happen either way. That's just what they were doing. They where they lost it was not giving the people who pre-ordered their stuff. Not so much before retail, but like we were saying, from the store. That would have been super easy. I don't understand.
The other problem is that when they pre-ordered it, it was, and I'm not 100% sure on this either, but I'm pretty sure it was $100 cheaper when the pre-order came out than when they actually released the retail version.
Oh, that would be unacceptable. That'd be 100% unacceptable.
Yeah. I know for a fact it was cheaper. I don't know how much.
If they have to cancel their pre-order and then go and buy it for more, that is 100% unacceptable.
Yeah, that's why everybody is so pissed at Oculus.
Yeah,
this is what they're
horseshit.
doing. Yeah, so
that's lawsuit.
That's
that's
territory.
But that's one of the many reasons why, other than the fact that I think the Vive is a superior device. It is more expensive. I think it's $300 more expensive. But it does come with 2 sensors instead of 1, which you mount on your walls above you, and it comes with the two touch controls, so you hold them in your hands. The Oculus does not come with that. It comes with an Xbox and a single sensor.
Xbox controller.
I'm sorry, not an Xbox
360 controller.
It is a Xbox One controller.
Oh, okay.
So
that can't be wireless because there's no wireless adapter for those for PC yet.
Correct.
Great.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically that. I prefer the Vive. If I was going to buy one,
I would better product.
I would rather spend another $300. The tracking is better. You get the motion controllers with it, et cetera, et cetera. And just the games that I've seen look way more interesting for
it. HTC does the Vive?
That is HTC.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please endorse us.
Yes. HTC. I like your product better. Give us money now.
What are the other ones on the going on market too? There's one for the PlayStation, right? The
PlayStation VR is the third contender. It's it's a little bit different because I don't know if you guys have looked at the specs at all for VR, but you have to have a fairly powerful computer just to run virtual reality. I think
graphics specifically.
GPU's got to be pretty high because it's pushing out the resolution of a game,
basically a game as if you were looking at it in every direction at the same time,
right? But it's also pushing it to 2 screens, so it's processing 2 slightly different angles to make it look three-dimensional. So it takes a lot of power, but PlayStation is coming out with PlayStation VR, which is just kind of their answer to it, and I don't think there's a lot known about that yet. I haven't looked at it because I don't care, because I don't even have a PlayStation.
Right.
So I'm not going to buy a PlayStation and PlayStation VR when I already have a computer that can run.
Right. I was just curious what the other ones going out there are.
So I don't know anything about that. I'm assuming
cool.
Nobody else does either.
It's beyond me.
I probably don't have to talk about it
because I don't really want to sell my child to be able to afford those things.
Right.
So
it's one of those things that once it gets down in price,
once it's viable, I think I'll look into it.
I'll give it a couple years.
I'll do it, but I can't spend that much.
I will, and I say this as carefully as I can. I will eventually be getting one, and it will not be a couple years from now. So once I acquire that technology, I think that
technology acquired.
Once I acquire it,
get equipped.
I think we should all try it out together. I think that'd be really fun. So, and you don't need a lot of space to do it. I mean, I could set it up in my apartment and have plenty of room, because it's not like you're running around. I mean, you got like a 5x5 square. I think that's the lower end of it, but
basically as much room as you need for a Kinect.
Yeah, when you can move around and duck and look around corners, like I was saying. I mean, you're not jogging from place to place. You do the teleport thing.
I might.
So
Yeah, he might.
You can if you want.
Don't judge him.
There is a cord that's attached to it, so you do need to watch out for that.
Not when Elliot gets to it. So we're gonna.
They need to implement some sort of quick release for the cord.
Quick release.
Okay.
Are you jumping out of an airplane?
So
In case I pull this TV down or whatever.
You guys can try it out.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm going to pass on the Elliot thing.
I want to see if I can implement my urban combat dodge rolls.
If he's already asking about what the failsafe is for damaging it, I don't think he's quite ready to use it. I don't think he's quite
Ask me again in a couple weeks. I might be all right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He did just watch Civil War, so
First thing he does, combat roll, rips the cord out of my computer, breaks it.
yeah.
Oh shit! I'm under fire.
Get down,
Guys, I think I got flashbanged. Everything went dark.
Rips it off his head and smashes it on the ground.
I did
All right,
it.
that was fun.
I won.
Good job, guys. We all did it.
I won the internets. All right,
thanks,
so
Kip. I'm gonna
Elliot, you owe me $900. Thank you for listening to Loud, Confused, and Ready. Check down in the description below for any kind of links we talked about today, and also check out our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much for listening, and have a pleasant tomorrow.